Hey there, Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And today we're going to talk about what that moon is doing April 20th through the 26th, 2020, this crazy, crazy year that we're having. And so I look forward to getting to your channeled message. I did spend some time in your energy, but it was interesting. You have a really nice message. Before I go there, I would really like to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, for helping me to grow my channel, for showing your appreciation for my time and energy when I do a video. That is a really nice, easy way to do that. But most importantly, because you connect your energy with mine, so that when I go to channel messages, then I can really tap into your energy because we've had an energy exchange. And so I really want to encourage you to do that. Especially if you leave me a comment. I write down your name and I put it on the paper when I'm sitting there channeling, getting ready to take notes on what I see and hear. And so I think that you will have the better opportunity of getting messages that actually resonate for you on a deeper level. So the other thing I want to talk about real quick is that the reason I really encourage checking out your sun, your moon, and your rising. Your sun sign, it is the core of you. It is your value system. It is the lens through which you view the world, right? It's how you see things. But your rising sign, that you would need to go to a calculator, and they have free calculators, so make sure you key in the search bar free astrological chart so that you can get a free calculator. Do not pay for this. That you need the time that you were born and the place that you were born in order to do this. But what it does is it tells us where the sun is on the horizon at the moment of your birth. That sets up the houses of your chart because your rising sign is all about your destiny. It is your soul's path. It's where the planets line up. It's where the houses line up. It's so how you know when this energy is moving around. And when I say things like, well, Pisces, that's in your fourth house, I actually mean Pisces rising, that is in your fourth house. And so when I channel and get these messages, I really ask for them to resonate for the sun and the moon, the rising, and my spirit guides are aware of that. But when I'm talking specifically about actions and houses and stuff like that, then that really focuses in on the rising sign. The moon sign you can probably get more accurately without knowing the time and the place. Because if you put in 12 noon, then you will get a moon sign. And the moon sign changes every 2.5 days. So say you get the Aries moon sign and you're like, I don't feel fired up about everything, and I don't have all this hyper energy and feeling, then that's probably not you, right? So how do you feel? Well, you look on either side of that, because the moon may have changed signs that day. So it could have moved into Taurus by the time you were born, which would be more placid and calm and kind of like, okay, well, I just accept things as they are energy. Or do you instead feel very emotional and you recognize and you feel all this empathy for people, and you can get really hurt and upset easily? Then maybe your moon is in Pisces. And so, paying attention to that is always a good thing. It gives you more information and more details. So your channeled message this week, I saw a full moon reflecting on a small lake. So all the messages are really like little TikTok videos. They were so freaking fast. So that's what I saw. I saw like the trees around the lake, and I heard the crickets, and I could feel the coolness of the evening. And I heard self-reflection. And so it was very calm, it was very peaceful, and it's a time for self-reflection, and that really makes sense as we go into this new moon. There's always that being willing to release and to let go of things that don't work in order to plant the seeds of intention for what we want. And there is a time of self-reflection, and so it's important to be able to do that. And so that's a very timely message for you. But because I wanted more information for all the signs, I went into the Foxfire, the Oracle, the Kintsu Oracle, or whatever. Anyways, you guys have the most beautiful card. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. But it looks like she's standing in the moonlight, doesn't it? And she's got the lotus. Well, yeah, she's got the lotuses. It's like she's kind of like in the water lily on the lake. It says the creation of light. It says the creation of light. And so to be a light worker is to be the person through whom the lightness of being, an elevated, tender, kind, and loving perspective can come through to the world, in part because of us. All work and energy that carries a significant measure of grace is calming and gentling and soothing so much of the world's suffering and harshness. And within the realms of the consume, we are beings who tend the flowers that offer us the light. For not only does the lotus open to offer perfume, beauty, and fertility, but its very presence offers light, a ray of light that can change the energy of the field with which it interacts. So when this card comes to you, you are currently being offered the grace of pure light, the ray of unconditional self-love, the vibration of compassion for the self and of self-awareness without harsh self-judgments. You are available for your own soul, and you are tending the garden of the inner self. Within that garden, the lotus of peace and the sacred is blooming, and as its petals open, you are showered with inner light. Enjoy the surrender to the beauty of your own self-love, and know that you are in turn bringing the light to others as it radiates out into the world from the deep and holy garden from which flowers within. You will now care for yourself, you will create beauty, and you will bring grace to the world around you. Honestly, the nicest card that got pulled. So there is a lot of chaos and stress this week, astrologically speaking. And so that self-reflection, that pulling within, that, oh gosh, I just want to say turn off the TV, you know, be cautious how much social media you're in, the negative energies, really, because Pisces, you're very empathic and you pick this stuff up. And so this week, I really want to encourage you to take saltwater baths and keep the negative energy out of your space. I really want to encourage you to take long showers, to just really pull into your own energy, because that's where the light is. And there is, and ask for protection from Saint Michael. He just said, ask for his protection to protect your energy. And Mother Mary, okay, the Mother Mary and Kuan Yin, the compassion and the self-love and the nurturing that you need to give yourself. You're going to come up against some tough energy this week. And so love yourself, take care of yourself, protect your light. Okay, protect your light. All right, so let's get into this. The moon is going to move into Aries at 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday. This almost immediately comes into conjunction with Chiron. You have just spent, the last 7 years with Chiron and Pisces, so you should be very aware of how it stirs up crap, right? It brings up the issues that need to be healed, that need to be worked through. If you can remember back to March 24th when we had the new moon in Aries that was in conjunction with Chiron, what came up for you then? Because I think that very similar stuff could come up. So if you didn't really work through it then, you might have the chance to do it now. And I would recommend trying to do it without judgment. No self-judgment, just self-acceptance. You know, loving all the parts of you, the shadow and the light, become really important here. When someone says something to you and it triggers you and you're like, no, that denial energy is a defensive mechanism. So really explore what it is that triggers you to do that. You don't have to tell them, but you do need to do the work, right? Whatever. So then on Tuesday, the sun is going to be in square with Saturn. This is where the fear-mongering energy comes in. This is the day that really, I just, there's so many conspiracy theories out there. Just let it all flow on by. Just try to avoid it to the best of your ability. There's going to be this sense of frustration throughout the world. It is actually about where the moon is placed that's making this happen, but it's so funny because it's like so right on for COVID-19. The sense of frustration that people have with being, what did I write down? Frustrated at inactivity, something that is out of your control, out of your own self-interest is taking place. We're all feeling the stress a little bit, right? We can choose to not be stressed by it. I personally have chosen to not be stressed by it. I'm using this as an opportunity to do more meditation, to get more in touch with things, I mean, honestly, I slept through the first 3 weeks because of COVID-19, but I mean, it's an opportunity to breathe through it and to find the gift in it. And so I'm really going to encourage you to do that this week. Really tough energy all week long. Wednesday, the moon is going to be in a square with Pluto, and then it squares off with Jupiter, and then the moon moves into Taurus at 6:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and then it squares off with Saturn, and then it is the new moon at 10:26 p.m. It is a busy moon all week long, doing a lot of stuff, lots of squares, lots of difficult energies. And so you feel that, right? It's the moon, it's the emotions, and there's the flow through it. So let's get a little guidance on managing this moon in Aries with this Chiron and the squaring off with the transformation and trying to expand things and all this tough energy. So what do you need to release in order to find your peace, right? That's kind of what this is about. And so you have dedication. And I feel like this is about you dedicating yourself to the process of finding the peace. But let's go to the book. I just want to make sure I'm on the right line. Because if I don't, then they come back later and they give me another card and waste opportunity to learn new stuff. It's time to complete a current project and to dedicate yourself to your next venture. It is safe to commit. Oh, well, this is lovely. It is time to complete a current project and to dedicate yourself to your next venture. It's time to commit. Well, that's lovely, because what comes right after that? The new moon in Taurus. And the new moon in Taurus is very fertile ground. Yes, the energies are on that day. Suck. They really do. But hey, guess what? New moon in Taurus is Empress energy. It is creative. It is an opportunity to grow something either in the financial sector or the creative sector, or for you, it's in your second house. If you are Pisces rising, it is in your third house. It's in your third house, not your second house. If you're a Pisces rising. So that would be in communication or a project that you are short distance travel or something that you're trying to maybe if you're trying to build something on the internet, you know, a website, a creative project, something like that. Writing a book. There is a lot of creative energy that flows with that. So completing a project and then planting your seeds of intention. Now, the new moon in Taurus is always, if you can't, you know, what do you want? Okay, so if you're thinking about financial things, it is great for that. Taurus is great for planting the seeds of intention regarding manifesting things in the financial aspects of your life. So, you know, that you can't go wrong with that. So it starts with a gratitude list, a really long gratitude list, because as you count your blessings, you multiply them, right? And it raises your vibrational energy and it attracts in higher vibrational opportunities to you. So counting your blessings, super important. And so let's get a card to kind of talk about that energy of that new moon. So that new moon is going to also be in conjunction with Uranus. So something is going to make you go, oh, I didn't expect to feel that way about that. It could be positive, it could be negative. It's Uranus. Who the heck knows, right? Who knows? But you're going to be asked to release something, to give up something that you've worked really hard for, possibly in and around the home, some kind of something that you've spent a lot of time on in order to create space to plant the seeds. So let's just, very mundane. Planting the seeds, you want to harvest and manifest a garden. So, but you've spent years like getting your lawn perfect, and now you're going to have to sacrifice part of that lawn, cut something out that you've worked very hard on to make it beautiful, in order to create space to make something else that's beautiful, your garden, right? And so it's that kind of energy of needing to let something go. So for you, we are talking about money, big time, because you have clearing debts. So it is a new opportunity. It's a beginning. It's about working smarter, not harder. It's Taurus energy. Smarter, not harder, and realizing that there is opportunity. So Pisces, clearing debts. You're going to be asked to maybe sell something that's important to you in order to help pay off the debt. You're going to be asked to give up something that you enjoy on a regular basis in order to pay more on the debts. Clearing debts right now is a really great idea. Take a look around, right? And so giving up something, sacrificing something in order to be consistent and to clear your debts. Your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making the plan clear to present obligations and avoid future ones. Okay, so it also said emotional debts. So think on that. If the financial debt didn't ring a bell, the emotional one really might, because you're supposed to be doing this self-reflecting, right? And so what is an emotional debt? Is that when you feel like you're trapped in a situation where you feel like you owe somebody something? So how do you clear that? You can sever the vow of poverty. You can say, I cut the cords of this, I break this contract. Um, that always works. Is it really your emotional debt to carry? Be honest with yourself. Do the searching. A lot of times we carry a lot of, oh, Pisces. I'm a Pisces moon. We carry a lot of guilt and burden for things that are not ours. They're not ours. That situation over there wasn't ours to feel bad about, and yet we'll feel bad, right? The empathy comes up. So that might be your story. It might be both. It never hurts to clear financial debts. But emotional debts, that moon was about self-reflecting. And the moon, it represents Pisces to me. It's the moon card, and tarot is the Pisces card. And so reflecting on what it is that you need to release the burden of that you're carrying around. The moon is going to still be in Taurus on Friday, which has some really nice energy compared to the rest of the week. So TGIF this week. And then on Saturday, it moves into to Gemini. Moves into Gemini at 3:20 in the morning. And we have several things happening that day. There's an opportunity over the weekend to get, especially because the sun is going to conjunct with Uranus, to get a sudden breakthrough, a sudden idea, something coming to you, with that moon in Gemini plus that conjunction there. I mean, a really great opportunity to have a great idea come to you. That breakthrough, that sudden breakthrough could be good or bad, though, globally. So, but for you personally, opportunity here. But whatever this is, you'll want to keep the information to yourself. Mercury is going to be squaring off with Pluto and with Jupiter that day. And so communication about some kind of a transformative idea that you have that could be about expansion, just keep it to yourself, but do some research. Like, this is a good time to focus in on what it is that you need to know, but not necessarily share out there in the world. There's going to be a need to accept a situation or accept help, divine guidance. If you ask the angels and guides to help you, they will. You need to ask, okay? And this will help promote the growth of the idea, the growth of your soul, whatever it is that you're working on here. And it's going to require patience. You have the patience card, which doesn't surprise me because we're talking about planting your seeds of intention in the fertile soil of Taurus, and that is all about having the patience. It says now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. That big idea requires the research, right? Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. So now it's the time for learning. Now is the time for gathering the information, being patient with the process. It's an 18-month process to bring things in. So, you have a lot going on this week, but it looks good. One of the better readings of the week, so that's good news, because mostly they've all sucked, but I would really encourage you to avoid the negative energy this week. Be very conscious about what you are consuming physically, food and water. Make sure that you're saying grace and clearing the energy of it. And also, what are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? So you have Regenerate Your Body, Sapphire. So that looks like that moonlit color. So yeah, so pulling into yourself and allowing yourself the time to the other two cards felt like they wanted to come. We have Overcoming Your Challenges, Plum, and Nourish Your Body and Soul. And so giving yourself space, allowing yourself to do the healing, finishing up that project that you're working on so you can plant this And even if you're not quite done with it, go ahead and plant the seeds of intention. Don't miss the opportunity. Um, but regenerate your body. I feel like be gentle with yourself. You know, spend some time in nature. Take care of yourself. It's a tough energy week. So be kind and be accepting and self-loving of yourself. All right. You take care, and I will talk to you next week.